So I thought maybe we were attacked by a vicious animal and were killed. And then I didn't know what
Go.
happened. Okay, it's called Cyrus Says for those who watch the show, like my mom and my aunt, who of course can't hear anything because they don't want to listen, just watch the visual beauty that it is. Speaking of visual beauty, we have Ami Patel who's going to be on in a second. Forgive my bad English. But I first, Ami, I have to just tell everybody here because I give a lesson in the morning because there are no teachers left in the world to help people and society go forward. So here's what my lesson for the day is. If you don't have newspapers and if you don't have breakfast, there's a way you can have both. It's called Bhai Vada Pav from a little place in Worli nearby, and they serve it in a newspaper. So you get to eat your vada pav. As you can see, my friend Kunal and Anup are here. They finished the vada and left the pav for me. That's our relationship. And then you get to read the newspaper. There you go. So I can tell you, Republic TV staff booked for disinfecting something or the other. The point being, the newspaper is very old, but you're still getting news because news actually doesn't ever get old. Now, enough of all that nonsense. Let's get on with our show. And we've got a stalwart, a legend, a great name in fashion, and also very good personal friend of mine who I adore and love. Is one of those people I have no negative thoughts about. I always like to think of people in your life, and I can't think of any bad thoughts with Ami because she's just got that. I should have married her, but she said no twice. Long story. Ami, welcome to the show. You're looking delightful. I must say, age has not withered you at all.
Thank you, Cyrus. So glad to be here and
And
see you virtually, if nothing.
yeah, well, my face hardly fits in the frame anymore now. They want me to, use two frames. But can I just quickly, for those who don't know much about fashion, because you can imagine people listen to my show obviously don't wear clothes. They're probably Neanderthals and cavemen and that type of. But that's my market generally. But let's quickly. I'll talk about our personal relationship and all. That's always so much more fun. But for some reason, we have to also talk about life and professions. So, celebrity stylist, which by the way is a huge thing in today's business. Lockdown, of course, coming in the way. Former fashion director of L'Officiel India. How do I pronounce it?
L'Officiel.
And why do the French have that look on their face when they say words? Officiel. Why do you have to do that? Why can't you say officiel? Yeah. Do you get upset when Indians pronounce because you and your sister speak fluent French, right?
My sister speaks fluent French. I just worked for a French magazine.
But I'm sure your French is pretty decent. So you get irritated when you're dealing
My
with people.
sister's married to a French man. She dreams in French.
She dreams in French.
Yeah, she thinks in French. She's married to a French man, right? You know that.
Wow. I don't know if the Prime Minister will be happy with that. Young Gujarati girl from Thames Corner now gone to France and thinking in French and this is no way for a Desi person to behave. This is against our culture. Sanskriti and Parampara, which are French words. So let me give the introduction. You keep interrupting. Why you interrupt so much?
Sorry.
Former fashion director, L'Officiel India, and creative director, Harper's Bazaar. Ami is experienced in all aspects of fashion styling. Her work spans from editorial print, TV to celebrity styling. A vast portfolio has magazine covers and fashion
That's
stories.
Too long. Cut it short.
No. We're going to break after this.
Okay, fine.
India's best known celebrities. Ami has a knack of transforming people. Did you ever try to change my look? You must have, no? In a nice way without being insulting.
Never. Yeah. Do you remember the fashion show we did? Okay, we must talk about that.
We did. I came back from Alibag and ran to the place and all. Yeah.
You specially came for that. And I
Correct.
put you in a Superman t-shirt and a lungi with a trail.
Yes. And I was with some hot actress or something.
Kalki.
Yeah, right. God, I can remember everything. What was the Superman t-shirt and lungi? I mean, I would love to wear that at home. I don't think I would have enjoyed it. Was that just for me or was that really a look?
That was just for you. I created it for you.
Wow. Superman from the South. I get the
my idea was to actually have an anti-showstopper. I didn't want a showstopper. And that's why I wanted you. So I thought that was just like a cooler thing to do.
I mean, I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment now because you said anti-showstopper is like, let me get riffraff instead of getting John Abraham. Okay. But whatever. I trust you. People clapped. Nobody said bad things. Let's quickly, because this is obviously something which will interest everyone. You style celebs like Priyanka Chopra. And okay, now Ami is gone completely.
Yeah, now Ami's gone.
Silvery, I can't believe I've replaced a fashion diva icon with a bearded boy from Powai who wants to tell jokes.
Yes,
talk about switching on a dime.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting now for Ami to rejoin. Until then, we'll have to interview you, Silvery. So you'll have to just tell us about your career. But I don't want the show to stop. It's live. People are listening. Tell us a little bit about your fashion integrity. You never step
So
out of the
I
house.
have no, I don't. I haven't gone shopping. I want to say in like the last 4 years. That's how fashion forward I am, Cyrus. 4 years without shopping. When was the last time you went shopping?
I don't shop.
For
I'm anti-shopping. Like she said, anti-showstopper. I'm also anti-shopping. So yeah, I don't believe in. I just see
Okay, yeah.
what I'm wearing right now. For example, WST T-shirt given free. It's all that kind of thing.
Yep.
I don't have anything I bought. I can't think of anything, honestly.
Yeah,
And
like
if,
so, like how you are like known for your like red t-shirts and like t-shirts
but
and
that's
shorts,
also
right?
because those are the ones I got.
Yeah, I get it. So I will only wear like check shirts for the most part. I only wear check shirts and jeans. I mean, not at home. Jeans I don't wear at home. Right now I'm just wearing pajamas down. But
Okay,
usually
Army's
it's
come back. So
jeans.
your
Hey,
fashion statement
yes.
will be
Allowed to
recorded forever, and we'll get back to you
yes.
on an AMA. Silvery, thanks for joining us.
Sure.
Sorry, Ami, we lost you for a second, but you've come back. And we were in a very
Yes.
important, poignant moment. One of your early clients was Priyanka Chopra. When you first met her, did you know she'd be such a big star? Because I think she was still on her way up.
She always had this power girl thing about her, but honestly, I didn't expect her to just skyrocket to this level. So I'm really proud of everything that she's doing right.
And the crossover, she's like is the first female crossover. There may be one or two here or there I've forgotten, but in the kind of name that she's got and the magnitude of her celebrity abroad is more than any other Indian female.
It's
Is that fair
tremendous.
to
I
say?
think
Except
it's
Mamta Banerjee
absolutely
on
fair to say.
certain functions.
It's absolutely fair to say. I think she's the most famous Indian out there in the world.
Really? More famous than Shah
Absolutely.
Rukh
Don't you
Khan?
think so?
I don't know. I'll have to check this with my people. I have people everywhere. I can make a phone call here and there. I'll get an answer, I'm sure. But I think she has. I mean, people in America know who she is. People who follow what's the group that she married into? Who all have the same surname. I mean, most people have the
The
same
Jonas
surname.
Brothers, Nick
The
Jonas.
Jonas Brothers. So that
Yes.
whole group of followers who follow music, etc., etc. Now Priyanka became part of that.
You know, Cyrus, I don't know if you follow news, but I'm sure you do, but she gets featured everywhere. She's
Yeah.
constantly getting featured. She's a brand ambassador of so many things, so many international brands.
So she
So
was
I
on all the late
personally
night
think,
shows with all the big famous hosts.
yeah, like Jimmy Fallon and so
Yeah.
many others.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I think she is truly and unarguably the most famous Indian out there.
And
And I'm
she's
not
done.
saying that because I style her.
No, listen, let's give her credit because she's a very powerful, dynamic woman. And her first foray into greatness was a Miss India, Femina Miss India competition,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
I was also part of, and I got to interview and spend
Oh.
time with her. And she outrageously flirted with me, and she called me, and I mean, and I never regret the fact that I didn't encourage it because I felt she was she needed to go further than me and aim for higher things and aspirations. So I let it go. But that was right at the beginning, and she
I
told me,
doubt she flirted with you.
okay, listen, the story is about you, not her. Now we're just digressing to her because she's a famous superstar. So let's get back to you. So before we go there, I want to just tell people because it's so nice. Coincidentally, you're on the show. It's not like, I suddenly realized, Ami Patel, where are you and all that. But we go back a long way. We go back to college in the 90s. And we have a very
Yes.
common friend who I love and adore also called Minoti Makeem,
Yes.
married to some Parsi gentleman. I forget the surname, but he'll come back to me. And your sister Dipali. Oh, and your friend Manisha, who I had a big crush on. So all, you were the four musketeers and we grew up sort of together. We went out a lot and hung out a lot. So I want to
Yeah.
say it's I'm feeling slightly emotional and very happy to see you, which is very rare for me. The only time I felt like this is when they said they had the vaccine, and gave it to me. I had that similar feeling. And I got a pretty nurse, by the way. It's so important to get a pretty nurse when someone's going to prick you. Ouch. Yeah, very sweet
I
girl.
think.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, go
No,
ahead.
let's get back to us. So let's talk a little bit about those times. I had no idea you'd become this fashion stylist, diva, editor, one of the big names in the business. I'm just trying to think. You never spoke about anything.
None.
So where
It's
did it
just a
all come from?
coincidence. Priyanka has a very interesting thing to say about this, about my career. Sorry, I'm going back to her. But she was like, if there's ever a big book written about you, that's about me, it would be called The Accidental Stylist. So truly, I think my career is a series of accidents. It's not planned. It's pretty organic. And it's just something that literally just happened. Though I do think that there was an instinct and a guiding force underneath everything. Like there always is, but
The third
it
floor
surprised
guy?
me too.
Sorry, ignore that. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's honestly surprised me too. So I mean, when we used to hang out in college, I had no idea. I was studying commerce in HR college, and I just like clothes, and I shopped at Fashion Street, and I got secondhand hand-me-downs from my cousin who traveled abroad.
But that was a
So
lot
that
of
was,
people. That
I
alone
guess
can't be
so.
the,
I
you know, I
guess
mean,
so.
I'm just trying to think, did we ever shop together? You go, I did
Never.
remember Dipali and the French thing and all. That was very strong, right? And Minoti had no
Yeah.
idea what she wanted to do. That was very strong. And I had
Yeah.
even less. But I'm just trying to think. There was no tip from you on fashion that I can remember. Anything else? You must have
Nothing.
said something sarcastically, and but again, that's just most people. So you're saying accidental, but so how does one know? How did you know? I mean, give us the opening, the birth.
Okay, so the birth happened when I was working with Elle magazine. I started my career at Elle, art director at Elle, and I had to style. I had to style people. As a art director, you style everything in the magazine, and that's when the styling bug really got to me. It was literally like love at first sight, love at first shoot, and I
Do you
just
remember the first?
styled more and more.
I mean, do you remember the first model or star, whatever that you had to handle?
I do actually. The first was Ujwala
Raut. Very pretty.
Raut. Sorry,
Yeah.
And she was just coming into the she's just coming into the modeling world, and she was very pretty and gorgeous. And I remember taking her to my photographer studio, and we did this shoot on. We got this pink fur rug, and we instead of making it stand, we put it on the ground, and we like lay her down on it, and then had vertical pictures. And we did 2 or 3 changes, and I still remember that my
treated India's
editor.
leading model like a rug.
We had a
Threw on
pink
the
fur
floor and
rug.
stepped on her.
Cyrus, it was an amazing shoot. But I want to just get to the fact that, my career did have some kind of really interesting, what should I say, not blocks, but I just want to go back to the story where my editor shouted at me for doing this shoot because she was like, how can you have this shoot where you have 3 pictures with the same fur rug, pink fur rug background, right? And literally next month, the month after that, LUSA had the same concept. It was like I opened the magazine and they used the same concept for their shoot. So I was really shy.
Repeated
not
rug.
with Ujwala, but
no, but with a repeated rug in the background.
With a pink rug, yes.
so did they acknowledge it?
Well, I was really shy. I wasn't the kind of person who'd go and say "see," but at least in my head, I knew
you
that
should have
I'd
called
done a good
Minoti.
job.
She would have fought for you.
She would
have told her. She should have gone all the way to them. Manisha, you got 2 tigers. Well, you should release them. What's wrong with you? Yeah, when I think about it.
I know.
Yeah. So no,
but that was the first.
So you went on gut instinct to do something which would appear ridiculous at first with a very glamorous person, and changing the background to suit yourself and repeating it, etc., etc. Who was the editor who shouted?
Cyrus, can we?
It's
not
okay.
do that?
I mean, you're not in good terms.
No, but I'd rather not.
Okay, fair.
I mean, the fact is, I'm actually sharing the story for the first time ever on your.
Okay, fine.
Podcast.
I mean, I love you. We'll never ever do anything to disrespect you. Male or female?
Male.
I hate Indian men. I spit on him for you, whoever the hell he is. What a waste of time.
Thank you.
Yeah. But it just tells you something when people come and tell their stories and how they reach success, how if they're dissuaded when they're young, some of them just go off, while those who don't, sometimes they rise. And obviously people in the way who are in the hierarchy above you aren't necessarily good or bad for you. It's almost like a neutral thing. You just either find your way or you don't. And
actually, for me, when I'm dissuaded and when I'm kind of put down, I think it has the opposite effect. I kind of rise more. So every time there's a setback, I actually look at it and I thank the person who created that setback for me. Firstly, in the long run, at least.
On a personality level, I cannot imagine being rude to you, because I've never seen you being mean. I've never seen you. I mean, funny mean, yes, but I've never seen you being malicious or aggressive in an evil way. So I would find it very hard if I was the editor. I would be like, please, Ami, is it possible to not use the rug? I'd be begging you. I can't see a conflict with a personality like yours, which is basically, and we'll come to the Sri effect later, which is almost like you've got that spiritual quality where there's no negative energy.
Wow. Thanks, Cyrus. That's so sweet.
That's the feeling I get. Yeah. So that editor sucks anyway, and probably has a terrible disease, venereal disease or whatever, and is suffering. And we shouldn't talk like that. What has he ever done? Okay, let's get back to your life. So this was the opening thing. And then when you saw the US have copied the concept, which is like a kudos, like an endorsement.
They didn't copy it. They also thought of the same concept. I'm not saying they copied it. I'm just saying that
they could be looking at the other countries.
No, I don't. Yeah, but I don't think
it
so.
Might
and
be
also,
going up and down. We don't know.
Magazines work like 2-3 months in advance. So it was clearly something that was a coincidence.
This is my story now, and I'm saying they copied it. Okay, let's leave it there.
Okay.
Don't make me the editor.
Okay.
So they copied, but at the end of the day, you realize that what you did was right. Or if there is a right or wrong in fashion, I don't even know. But
actually, I realized that right from the beginning. I love the idea. I love the idea of a pink fur rug. I think that's cool, and I still think it would be cool even for now. It's timeless.
Right. Okay, so let's skip ahead now. So you were an art director. You started designing the shoots, etc., etc. Then what happens in Ami's career? How does she become the editor? How does she go forward? And I'm saying she like you're not there, so I apologize because it is you and you are there. So
that's fine. Don't apologize. It sounds
it's
fine.
It's the Karan Thapar effect. You watch actual interviewers and then you suddenly start thinking like them. I also watch Ordnob, so I might scream for no reason, but I apologize. Yeah.
So, oops, sorry. I just dropped my... Oh, just a minute.
Oh, is it a low? What the hell are you wearing? Be careful. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Family show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so so after that my friend Suparna Motwani, she started L'Officiel magazine. She was editor of Elle when I quit. She wasn't the editor who shouted at me.
That was a male. You already explained. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. And so she started this magazine called L'Officiel where she was editor, and then we all moved with her to L'Officiel. And that was the birth of Fashion and Luxury, the first fashion and luxury magazine in India, with Suparna at its helm. And I moved there. We got 17 in India, and it was literally like an amazing 10-year journey over there, styling and something along the way. I don't know. It was literally like I said, it was an instinct that I knew I was being pushed in another direction. Like I said, I was too shy to approach people and say, hey, listen, I want to style you, because we would style celebrities all the time for covers, for features. But it was really kind of Suparna to even encourage me to go in that direction. And then she encouraged me to start celebrity styling when I was at L'Officiel itself. So I had two parallel careers, and it started off with Priyanka. I met Priyanka in London 10.5 years ago, Diwali, when she was taking a break from shooting Dawn. And I met her at Accessorize, basement of Accessorize on Oxford Street. And it was literally like...
obviously hang out, yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for dropping that in, because that's where we hang out and meet. Yeah.
Again, that was a coincidence, right? So, but the thing is that I had styled Priyanka 8 months ago. We had done this amazing trip to Italy and Florence, where we'd done this fantastic project with the Ferragamo family.
And you did girl bonding?
We did girl bonding, and so I knew her, and then I bumped into her on Oxford Street, and I actually saw this girl trying out a red hat in a mirror. It was her back, and she had this commanding voice. So I wanted to know who she was. So I waited. She turned around, and it was Priyanka. We got talking. We said hello, and all that, all small talk out of the way. And then she was like, "Listen, I'm looking for a stylist. Can you style me?" And I said, yes. What else do you say if Priyanka Chopra asks you to style her, right? So she's like, I'm coming back to Bombay in December, and let's start. And it was literally that. That was the first
But obviously you must have discussed all this in Italy while you were eating your gelato ice creams and all that.
No, we didn't actually. It was an amazing trip. Italy was actually really fun because they wanted to, Italy, the Ferragamo family has this, they have a museum where they have a lot of shoes of a lot of Hollywood celebrities. And they wanted the first Indian Bollywood star to also be a part of this museum. And they approached me as a fashion director at L'Officiel and asked me who I think is a rising star and who should be a part of this museum. And truly and instinctively, I mean, there were so many girls I could have spoken about, right? There were so many names, but I said Priyanka. Literally, it was just an instinctive thing. And we had to wait for 4 months to get a date from her.
Wow.
And then she flew into Italy, and of course she gave us an entire day of shoot, which now I know would never happen. So we were really lucky then. It was a fantastic shoot. And
but I want to pick with you. If you had a 4-month waiting period, why didn't you ask for me? I mean, I'm not in her level of stardom, but I could have worn shoes. How tough is it to put your foot inside a shoe? And I could do that.
I agree. I think it would have been so much fun.
And I've been told my legs are like a girl's legs and all that. And so, I could have carried out both genders in that sense.
Absolutely. And I think you have amazing, I mean, you would have looked amazing in stilettos.
That's all I wear at home, Ami, to keep my parents happy. Their lives are very boring. But so this connection with Priyanka is stronger than I thought, huh? In a sense that I didn't realize that, you'll both help each other sort of in the rise, in the earlier part of her career as well. So she just looked at you in London. You said, hello, hello, hi, hi. You haven't met for almost a year. And boom, she says, I need you as my stylist. That's it.
Well, we got talking, and then it kind of just it came out of her. She spoke about it. She asked me, and I mean, at that time, celebrity stylist the profession was on the rise. It was literally on the rise.
All big stars had a stylist. I remember whenever we interviewed people, they would always be there. And the stylist was always someone like you, well dressed and what's the word, from the upper echelons of society. You didn't have any stylists who weren't educated, unfortunately. I felt that was a bit elitist. We have to do something about that. Sorry, I interrupted you.
But that was the beginning. That was literally the beginning days when people were looking for stylists, and the celebrity styling industry was being born in India. So yeah, it was just honestly right place at right time for everything. But so I think I'm just blessed and lucky.
But Ami, since you're close to her, can you at least get her to come on the podcast? So, because I'm actually quite a big fan, I absolutely, I mean, a lot of respect. And,
Cyrus, you have your own relationship with her.
She says not in, and she changes her voice every time I call. She does all this acting with me. I mean, I don't know why women behave so badly after all these years. Haven't I been a nice guy, more or less? Forget the drinking and the misbehavior, but other than that, no, I don't drink, so that's gone.
You were super fun to hang out with.
You once told me that we can say anything in front of you. You're one of the men I feel so comfortable with. I was very happy. I always use that with girlfriends who call me names. Yeah.
Did I say that really?
Yeah, you said that. Of course, it made me look like a eunuch also, because in a sense, he's comfortable with either gender, never feel scared. Okay, listen, let's finish your thing. Then we're going to break, and then there's AMAs. Okay, so I want to bring in Art of Living if we can, or we'll do it after the break. So
no, we can do it before. That's fine, or whatever.
Yeah,
however
you
just want.
So then you became the editor of L'Officiel.
I became the fashion director.
And you're styling Priyanka as a separate, that starts at that's a separate thing.
Also, it was a separate thing that coexisted. Yes.
Right. Then what happens next in your life?
And then I went on to Harper's Bazaar, where I was creative director for a year. And then I think I just broke out into styling celebrities full time. I said goodbye to magazines, and then my celebrity styling career took off in another direction. And as they say, the rest is history.
Okay, now don't get angry, but some people who come from different worlds may think it sounds a little frivolous, but it actually is a lot of pressure in styling a celebrity. And for many of them, the look is very important because they win or lose points just from the way they appear in public, especially the big ones. So tell us, what do you have to do? How do you have to make them look different every time? Like someone like Priyanka Chopra is under the synergy of so many eyes. She repeats anything or looks stupid or dawdy in anything. It's almost like career goes down.
So yeah, it is a high pressure job, definitely, because every appearance of every celebrity is constantly, looked at through eyes of fans, fashion critics, the entire world in general, and everyone has a different opinion. Weirdos. So
you pointed at me. Ami, you pointed at me. I have the footage. I'll play the loop
you're
again.
Not. You're not a weirdo. No, you're not a weirdo. I meant weirdos. You're right, weirdos, because there are weirdos who have their opinions. But so yeah, your work is always out there to be judged. But I think the best thing to do here is just go by your instinct and do what you think is right, because you know what the background, you know what the brief is, and you know the limitations, and where you can push it to the next level.
What about the vanity of the star? I've seen this when I was working with MTV. Arguments, but not like they're fighting, but arguments over tight fitting, loose fitting. Like the stylist has one idea objectively of what the person can pull off, and sometimes the star doesn't.
That's normal, right?
Yeah.
That's normal. I mean, if I think about it, if you obviously have a stylist, and if I had a stylist and they got me clothes, I'm the one who's going to be wearing it. So no matter how much a stylist thinks it's amazing, at the end of the day, if I'm going to be wearing it and it's my body and my mind, and I know what my career, where it's taking off, of course I have an opinion and I'm allowed to voice it. So, I mean, the star has an opinion and they're allowed to voice it. And there would be a healthy kind of a back and forth, as long as it's healthy. And then you arrive at something which could be even better, or just something that's works for both parties, and there's always a mutual trust. When you have a stylist, you choose this particular stylist because you respect the stylist's viewpoint and their style that works for you. It's important for the stylist to get your vibe. That's what's really important. If stylist kind of tries to push you in another direction and push you a bit too far and you're not happy with that, then obviously you think of changing your stylist. But otherwise, I think a stylist can, someone who can synergize your outer style with your personality. That's what I think would be best. And that's what styling is all about.
So you're almost playing like a therapeutic sort of role as well. You have to understand them psychologically and try and, get the best out of them. The level of comfort has to happen between the two people, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Do they ever steal clothes? And can you give me a list of clothes that have been stolen by whom?
No. They have no. I mean, honestly, stars like Priyanka has access to. I mean, not Priyanka, but any star. They have access to the the wardrobes of all the all the brands.
I mean,
in the
I'd
world.
give her my clothes.
No, so basically, if you have access to so much, why would you wear something once and then kind of want to put it in your wardrobe? Of course, and honestly, I don't think they need to steal clothes, Cyrus. Designers are willing to gift them the clothes.
Correct. No. Let's put it in perspective, because Priyanka is on another level, but there is lower ranked stars, because I've heard them fighting with the stylist about, can I keep this? Can I take this? Can I whatever?
None of the girls have steal clothes. None of them.
One.
So not even one.
You think only the girls in MTV were this badly behaved? Oops. Ouch. No, I'm kidding. They're lovely. Okay, so before we wind this up, so where are you now? Now styling is what you do, and it's like a freelance styling. In the old days, as you said, you'd be stuck with a Priyanka and you dare do anybody else's styling. As far as I can remember.
I had multiple clients. I've styled multiple clients, and currently, I've basically thought of this name called, my brand called Style by Ami, and that's what I go by on Instagram, and that's what it's called. And everyone knows me as Style by Ami. And in fact, it's very often when people meet me, they're like, "Hi, Style by Ami." So that's what it's called. And
let's clarify that Style by Ami is got nothing to do with Navy and Air Force, because people just assume after some time. I don't want them to assume. So the Style by Ami is working very well for you. But I want to understand. So now the trend is that you are almost like the star, and you've got a stable of people who come and go, who you work with in different levels.
I have a group of stylists, and I have clients, and it's been good. I mean, the lockdown has also been amazing. I think.
Yeah. Tell us. So what happens? Because we thought fashion would die, especially in the beginning, because you think that you would not be spending on that, but then the reality is it's the opposite.
Last year it was all at a standstill. Honestly, I missed shopping for clothes myself. But you're not going to think about looking great when people are dying out there, or when your life is in danger. Fashion is like an ancillary thing. It's something that's important. It's also something that reflects time. So you dress as per, like, maybe you go in for something that's more organic, or something that's supporting Indian handicrafts, Indian weavers. So you steer fashion in a direction based on the times. But I definitely see a boom after all this. I think the people are waiting to come out there and look amazing. So yeah.
In the meantime, I have a suggestion which you can take as yours in Style by Ami, and I'm giving it to you, this suggestion. Why can't people circulate clothes amongst themselves, recycle? Like, I go to my neighbors, the Dhawans, and I give them my shirt, and then Mrs. Dhawan gives her salwar to me. Then I come back, and exchange that with my mom's night skirt, and I go back and give that to Mr. Dhawan, and he gives me his pajama.
I think that's a wonderful idea, and that's where probably rental and recycling fashion has come back, is in fashion. And in fact, coming back to Priyanka and me started this really interesting movement, I think 8 years ago, called #It's Cool to Repeat. Because I don't know if you remember, but newspapers at that time used to be a little brutal about repeating shoes and bags and clothes, which I thought was ridiculous, because if you buy like a really nice Louis Vuitton pair of shoes, why would you not want to wear them again just because you're scared that this particular tabloid is going to circle it and say she's repeated it? So Priyanka and me started this movement, and Priyanka would repeat her clothes in interesting different ways, and we would actually put it out there on Twitter. There was no Instagram. We'd put it out there on Twitter and say #It's Cool to Repeat. And it changed. Everything changed. The newspaper started actually appreciating the fact that celebrities repeated their clothes.
I think it's a very noble idea, and people should understand that the philosophy could have been taken further from clothes. And people would say, I can't go out with my wife again because it's a repeat. and so I now need somebody else's wife. I mean, that idea came to me as well, but I've been dissuaded by certain people around me. And so I've given, but I get what you're saying. And I think it's fabulous. You must repeat to save society. But we'll repeat this when we come back from the break. So stay where you are. We're taking a quick break. We've got to just talk about Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. Then we'll go to AMAs. Then I have to do some other work, painting work and building work that I do because there's nobody to help us. Ami Patel, stay where you are. We'll bring in Silvery. Yeah, don't go anywhere. It's a very short break. Silvery, are you there?
Yes. Hi. Good morning.
I would like to share a message I got on my phone from Cred. May I?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Cred is the best club I've ever been a part of. Ami, you know which has been the best club?
Cred.
Yes. A highly exclusive club of trustworthy individuals who get rewarded for just paying their credit card bills on time. Where has Cred been all my life? Ami, do you know where Cred has been all my life? Oh, that's rhetorical. Huh? Don't answer that. I should have come sooner. I wouldn't have had to marry my wife. I killed that joke by taking a pause there. It was very well written by a copywriter and delivered by the worst comedian in India. Because if I had said it in one flow, it had a nice sense. I'll do it for you. Where's Cred been all my life? Should have come sooner. I wouldn't have had to marry my wife. You see, that made sense. But then again, it's too late. You can't repeat. You said repeat, but you can't repeat. Should have come sooner. I wouldn't have had to marry my wife. I'm saying this for the third time. It's too late for me now. But don't miss out. Just download. Ami, download.
Cred.
Yes. That's it. They want to hear you. And I got to tell you that now that you've given us this shadow of Priyanka Chopra on top of everything, this whole show has been three of us. And even Silvery is a little puzzled, but she has played such an instrumental role in your life and yours and hers. Let's get back quickly and talk about Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. And again, that side of you, although you've always been very nice and, just your spiritual sort of, I would think there's a certain vibe. Where did that all happen? With not just you, with Dipali, your sister, who is very pretty as well. Go
on. So I think this was maybe 22 years ago when my mother actually took the Art of Living course, and she wanted me and my sister to take it. And you know the thing about when your mother tells you to do something, the first thing you say is no. So my mother very, very...
No, if your mother told me, I'd have said yes. But my mother, I would say no. So that's confusing.
Well, with my mother, it was like a no. So I said no, but my mother managed to sign up my dad and my sister. So I reluctantly signed up for the course. And I mean, we took the course, and it was really not my typical idea of what spirituality was. It opened my eyes to something completely different. I realized that it was something truly practical, and the breathing technique, the Sudarshan Kriya that we learn in the course, blew me away. My first experience of it was something so tremendously uplifting and so fantastic. So it was something that both Dipali and me really enjoyed, and I started practicing it. And again, Cyrus, I'm using this word again, but instinctively and organically, I knew that this is something that I wanted to teach and share with people because it made such an amazing impact in my life. So that's when we decided to go in for the teachers training program, and both of us, literally within a year, we were teaching the program, and we had to go through intense training sessions. But it was honestly, I'd say being an Art of Living teacher is the best job in the world. Can I just say something about the Art of Living here?
It's your show. You can keep talking for 2 hours.
Thank you. Thank you. So basically, okay, Cyrus, you're a comedian, right? I'm
an out-of-work model. By choice, no. I would like to be a model and styled by you, but that didn't work out. Sorry, go on.
Cyrus, I'll style you for free anytime. Okay, that's on the side.
It'll be very hard work.
Coming to laughing at your jokes, coming to just finding things humorous. If supposing I was in an agitated or an angry or an upset frame of mind, I wouldn't appreciate humor or the finer things in life. So I think it's important to Art of Living is about, all about your mind and making sure that your mind is in a good space. If your mind is in a good space, then you can, appreciate everything in life, all the amazing things in life, including your humor. And how do you do that? How do you get your mind into a good space, especially at times like this, when there's a lockdown, when, or maybe people are not getting salaries, or maybe things are not going well for them. Can I finish?
Okay.
So how do you do that? Now, the human mind is a very, very tricky thing. You know that it has this tendency of going between the past and the future. When your mind is constantly thinking about what happened in the past, there's regret, there's anxiety. When you're thinking about the future, you're afraid of the future, especially now. So how do you get your mind to be in the present moment and calm? So that's where the art of living comes in. And that's where the Sudarshan Kriya, the breathing technique and the breath comes in. Because what is with you in the present moment at all times? It's your breath, right? So
Right.
we have this amazing breathing technique that we teach in the art of living that helps people calm their minds, flush energy, flush negative energy and toxins out of their system and bring their mind to the present moment so they can appreciate Cyrus's jokes.
But may I, and I mean no disrespect, but I've noticed once or twice, because we've attended these seminars, they don't, they tell you to breathe in, but they forget to tell you to breathe out. And I lost a couple of friends like that because, they listen to everything that's being said. And so, I'm just saying, always remember when you say breathe in to breathe out. I
Do
feel
you know that breathing is an involuntary and a voluntary act?
I can't believe you're answering that.
So then
No.
obviously you haven't attended the seminar, Cyrus, and you need to do
I
this.
have.
You need to attend the seminar.
I have. In MTV, there was a free one, and they told me to hug the person next to you and say you love them. And it was Gandhi, the accountant, who's got not very good breath. And it was very painful for me. But
actually, Cyrus, I was a part of that program and you did not take part in that.
No, I was there.
No,
I was very much there.
I was assisting the program.
The other Cyrus, Oshidar, our promo head, was making me laugh because he couldn't cross his legs. Then he couldn't turn his hip because he was a little large. And, so it was very difficult to relax in the sense of, it was like, the way you should be.
Okay, fine. So then it's time for you to repeat this program with me so that I make sure that you breathe in and out and get fitter in your mind.
All right. Although I have a very simple thing when I'm getting agitated, I just lock my wife in the room and then go talk to other people. And that just calms me down very quickly. It's not an issue at all after that. I'm just kidding. Huh?
So then in that case, I think you and Aisha should do the program with me together.
No more things with Aisha. Can't I go back to Manisha? What is she doing? Come on, throw me a bone here. What the hell's going on with her? No call. It's a birthday. Was it a birthday?
Oh, it was a birthday 2 days ago.
May 6th? See, I remember everything.
Oh my God, that's fantastic.
I saw every time on the 6th of May, I think of calling her. Then I feel, she'll get really think I'm a stalker or something. So I don't bother. But I do think. So that's not bad. No? After all these years.
Not bad. I am impressed. I'm going to tell her that.
There's a little romance there.
Or I'll send her a link of this podcast.
No, let's not overdo it. Poor thing must be having her own problems. Women in their 40s, you know what happens. I don't want to get into that. Ami, say what about Minoti and Dipali as well, 4 Musketeers, growing up in the 90s?
That was so much fun. All those nights when I was completely sober and still laughing at everything you said. Yeah. Wasn't that admirable?
Fabulous. I told you offline as well. It's just fantastic that you could not drink and keep up with all of us and always be positive. Maybe that's where the art of living appealed to you because you have a certain positivity, I think. Maybe that's why.
And I wasn't an art of living teacher or anything. I just didn't drink. I was 18. We met, I think, when we were in our teens. And I just didn't like alcohol, but I still loved laughing at everything you said.
Yeah, I didn't like alcohol, but I couldn't stand people. But the alcohol made me like people better. That's the only reason. Now I'm a recluse, so it's fine. But listen, we have to do the AMAs. And is there anything you want to talk about your career that we missed out? Right now, you've got a factory under you of stylists.
I think you can talk a little bit more about art of living. I think you should say something nice about art of living.
No, I don't knock art of living. Anybody who's trying to bring love and peace in the world, why would we knock them? I even actually. Well, I can't remember their names. There's this Parsi gentleman who was part of the top tier, and there was another guy. Yeah, that was his pet name, but and then the one with the long hair. Lots of them have long hair.
Khurshid Batliwala.
They're all very impressive, and we had a very nice time with them. And so I just have a little fun. I'm too scared to take on anything spiritual like that. I've heard.
Bawa is supremely intelligent. He's from IIT, and he's one of our senior teachers. Doesn't mean anything.
Kejriwal is from IIT and Delhi is still suffering. It's not, I don't know if that's right. Then you'll say, I'm Xavier's Arts, so I'm an idiot and loser. That's not fair. Minoti is also Xavier's Arts. We are both doing very well. Thank you. What is Dipali? Dipali was commerce.
Dipali was commerce, yes. By the way, Dipali is president of Art of Living France. I don't know if you know that.
That's like Macron.
Yeah.
Macron is like just Macron. There's Macron and there's Dipali and they're doing their art of living. Mademoiselle, it's so beautiful to hear. Wow. And she's married a Frenchman. after all.
And
that,
she's
right?
married a very handsome Frenchman who's also an art of living teacher, and both of them are leading my dream life in France. They teach all these amazing programs to the French out there in Paris. They have a fantastic center. It's gorgeous. If you ever go to Paris, you should visit it.
Oh, we
It's
won't let us go to
huge.
Alibag because it is lockdown. I have to go to Paris. You tell me. I'm ready.
After the lockdown,
But
Cyrus.
when is this lockdown ending? Talk to the government. It's too much. I can't take it anymore. Please.
In
Can
our
I come stay
lifetime,
with you,
for
Ami?
sure.
Your house is not quite light, na? You'll be able to fit me in. I can't stay in the same house all the time. Please, I'll bring my
Totally.
dogs.
And you can bring your dogs also. And I have a cat, so you can enjoy my cat.
And I'll change my underwear. Not like I'm what I do at home. I will be hygienic.
But Cyrus, I remember that your dogs sleep on the same bed as you. Is that
Yeah.
still happening?
Yeah, but my mother's bed, because the other
Okay.
woman in my life, won't allow the dogs on the bed. So in
Okay,
our
good.
bed, only when she
I'm
goes
proud
out
of
of
Aisha.
town. Yeah, she's a bit
Great.
of, she needs help. Art of living.
Yeah, because I
Ask
remember
Baba
all
to talk to her. Oh.
We'll do that.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I
What-
just remember that your bed being full of dog hair.
Yeah.
Then,
What were you doing on my bed, sweetie? The art of loving. It came first. Yeah. All right. Ami, stay here. We have to do the AMAs right now. So let's go straight to young Silvery, who won't
All right.
understand all our 90s jibes and jokes and Manisha and Minoti and Dipali and all us girly girls hanging out, and he's feeling left out. Poor Silvery. Where are your girlfriends, boy?
It's fine. They are at the art of
Shall I
living.
tell her what happened in Indonesia? Shall I tell her? Sharam ki baat hai. I'm not going to tell her. I'm not going to tell her.
You
I'll
must
tell her
tell
later.
me.
All right.
He's a victim of lockdown. His girlfriend, without being insensitive, after
Yeah.
spending a lot of time with him, went back to Indonesia. And
vanished.
how do you
Yeah.
break up in lockdown? What kind of woman
Oh
does that?
no, I'm
Isn't
so
that mean?
sorry.
I've had two.
I mean,
Him as
it's-
well as the guy who does my social media. His girlfriend left him. Is it because of me? Is it me that's causing this? They can't stand the shows. Oh God!
oh shit, Costa broke up?
Ah! Don't take his
Hey,
name.
I had no idea.
Oh,
I had no idea.
shoot. We're screwed. Are you going to keep this on? Now it's already on. He's going to get really
Yeah, now it's
angry.
on. Now it's on.
Okay, it's not. His name is Raj Dob. Raj Dob. Ami, come on. AMA with AMI. Come on, this is going to be fun.
Yeah. The first question comes in from Abhay Ghosh. He asks, Ami, what is your opinion on Cyrus's fashion and how do you improve someone's fashion sense?
But she doesn't really.
Okay.
Yeah, she does.
My
do have to
opinion
improve-
on improve Cyrus's fashion or generally someone's fashion sense?
Generally, that's the second
But-
part, because you
yeah,
will
but
actually
first,
have people whose fashion sense you'd look down on. Yes or no in the course of 20 years.
So Cyrus's fashion, as far as I remember, Cyrus used to really wear really cool, interesting T-shirts with fun slogans. And I mean, Cyrus's fashion is basic and fun. When it comes to how do you improve somebody else's fashion sense, I would say, you kind of have a conversation with the person, and then you go to their wardrobe and you kind of do like a wardrobe edit, and then you decide where you want to take them. This is where they are and this is where they want to be. And so from A to B, you take them to that next level by kind of creating a little bit of a master plan for them, and taking them shopping,
And
making them spend some money,
I mean,
and repeating clothes as well.
No, and without hurting their ego, right? I wouldn't.
Absolutely. Yes,
It's not even gender bias, because even men are very touchy about, when you suddenly say that this doesn't look good on them, or they've not understood that this doesn't match with that.
Men possibly more than women.
Yeah.
So I think it's just important to find the right space for them. That fashion is about proportions, it's about color, it's about playing with all these elements to create the best version of you outside, and you use all these visual tricks and create the best.
So then, what do you think of his? So Silvery, where you went off for 2 minutes, and so we discussed fashion with him, and he tells me that he likes to wear check. It's called checked, right?
He's wearing a checkered shirt.
Checker shirts. That's his thing. Now, I don't know much about fashion, but I thought that was the 80s kind of thing. Because I remember, I don't see that in 2020. But
checkered shirts are not out of fashion, Cyrus. It's like a what should I say, classic.
Let me age correctly. Let me be age appropriate. Now, uncle didn't understand. Uncle did not follow. I did not understand. So checkered.
No, Cyrus,
but I remember,
shirts are fine.
I remember this kind of look. We had two shirts in the 90s, 80s, late 80s, early 90s, as we got into college. In the
checkered
90s.
shirts are still in fashion.
So they never went out.
They never went out. If you go online, you will. It's a classic.
So he's well dressed.
You'll see so many. I would say that he's very, very dressed in a very classic checkered shirt. I like the colors that he's wearing, And
you.
I would appreciate some print. Maybe some quirky prints would look good on you too, Sylvie. But I think you're fine.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
So,
That's
so he
awesome.
knows his fashion because he's a deliberate. It's not like he just opened the cupboard and taken out his shirt like some of us do. He knows, he deliberately wears checkered shirts. So he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, but I would say don't always wear a checkered shirt. It's nice. Fashion is nice to, use to impress girls and to surprise people and to create some fun in your life.
But
So definitely
he only wears
experiment and do other
white.
stuff.
But in
wears
urban
white?
living, they only wear white. Don't they always wear white?
Cyrus, am I wearing white?
No, but you're not teaching. When they're teaching, aren't they in white generally? Whenever we shot them, they've all been in white.
No. White is something that a lot of teachers like to wear because when you are delivering and when you are teaching something so fantastic, you don't want the attention on yourself. You'd rather, focus on the content. However, honestly, I do not like white as a color. My favorite color is black. I don't wear it while teaching, but I do wear a lot of other color as well and print as well.
I mean, I can't wear white because my bra, the nipples show, and then people object, especially on the podcast, because that's exactly where we cut. Oops, right, there you go. So yeah, okay. So you get Mr. Silvery, you get 5 on 5 for your whatever choice of clothes, and 3
Amy
on 5
gave
for
me
your
more.
Amy, no, Ami. What the hell's wrong with
Ami
you?
gave me
Simplest
more.
name in the world, like Swami, Ami. Okay, when we get an Amy on the podcast, I'll tell you Amy. God,
Okay, cool.
it's so difficult, yeah.
But let him say Amy. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that's true. She's a very nice lady. You're lucky. There's some women who's touchy about these kind of things. You call my wife by the wrong name. Well, I call her by the right name and she's angry. But leave that. Back to you. AMA
All
number 2.
Yeah. Next one comes in from Sridhar Bhupati. He asks, "Good morning, Cyrus and team. Would like to know from Amy, how has the style quotient of our celebrities evolved from the 90s and your favorite celebrity stylist of all time?"
Yeah, that's a great question. Both are actually.
So, both are actually. So, for me, I would say the style quotient from the 90s has evolved from, wearing. Okay, so I'll give you an example of Filmfare Awards, right? I was going to say when a Cyrus, when a film star was attending Filmfare Awards, they would get like 1 or maximum 2 looks from a designer, and they would choose that, and they would wear that, and they would go for the awards. Possibly a Kanchivaram sari, or could be anything else. But now they have access to the entire world. They can actually project themselves and their personalities through fashion and get onto some amazing best dressed lists and look fantastic and decide how they want to look. So I think fashion from the 90s to now, in the sense for celebrities, it has opened up. It's thanks to the fashion stylist, who is like a bridge between the designer and the celebrity and helps create these amazing looks for celebrities and takes them to the next level. What was the second part of the question?
Best ever.
Your favorite
stylist.
Celebrity stylist of all time.
My favorite celebrity stylist ever, I would say, honestly, the first celebrity stylist that I know is also a designer, and that's Manish Malhotra. He's phenomenal. His career is phenomenal, and he was the only designer and a real icon. So I would say, I mean, I know Manish is not a stylist, but I would say Manish.
Yeah, and although he's known to have a temper
he
as well.
styles so many movies. He's never had a temper with me, but all the Yash Raj movies, from Sridevi to now to Alia, he's been styling these girls, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I was just trying to say that in spite of that, I thought he was very personable whenever we met him, and quite an interesting guy, and for quite a couple generations at least, like right at the top. As you started, he was already established and continued for another few years. Still is there. Yeah.
And still is there and still just going places. So, yeah.
Okay, I mean, I'm going to have to rush off because I just saw I do work. I have to go and beg for alms outside a temple, which is shut. And after that, I have to go and dress up wearing no clothes and performing at a bachelorette party.
Please go, Cyrus. I don't want to stop you from.
Sorry. We have one question, which
quick.
I think is from someone who Ami knows.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this one comes from Hemisha Marolia De Silva. Do you know this person?
Let's see what she's asking.
Okay, she asks, "Hi Ami, nice to see you. We have a history with being in jail. Absolutely infectious personality you and Manisha are. Thank you so much for all you do."
Okay.
Jail?
Jail. Okay,
Jail?
okay. So I think that could
The movie.
be. I think no. I know what you're talking about. I teach art of living programs in jail, Cyrus. Just in case you don't know
Oh,
that,
Wow.
it's called the
okay.
Prison Smart program. And
Right.
Henisha, as far as I know, assisted me in these jail courses.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
so yeah. So we've done some tremendous work in jail, and thank you for reminding me, Henisha.
Quite a life, Ami. So that naughty girl I met in the 90s who hung out with us and we just, drank and drove and listened to Beatles songs and had a good time. And now helping prisoners, working with Priyanka Chopra, starting and stopping publications left, right, and center, having own factory of stylists under you who you can kick on the face
Oh my
at the
God.
same time.
You make me
Wow,
sound
what a
really
life.
good. Thank you, Cyrus.
No, it's
Thank
great.
you. It was so
just,
fun.
we didn't think when we were young, what everyone would do or what they'd amount to. Not that, you have to be successful to be a good person or great person. Who cares really? But I'm just saying, I remember Ami and then suddenly Ami is here and doing all these things. And it's just, there's a real gap there for me. Because unfortunately, I then got married and my wife wouldn't let me talk to girls. And it's completely her fault because girls, I love girls. Girls out there, I still love girls. Don't
Aw.
judge by my fat cheeks. Inside is a very slim heart. It's too slim. Yeah.
It's a very magnanimous heart, I would say.
It is. I'm a generous man, just not with money. Everything else, from saliva downwards, I share. All right, Ami, I have to go and work, but thank you so much.
Okay.
Style by
Thank
Ami is the
you.
line. Don't forget it. Silvery, style by Ami.
Yes.
Hmm?
Of
And
course.
she liked
Thank you,
it. She's
guys.
given you, she's giving
you
you a
so
thumbs
much.
up, Silvery. You better be grateful.
Yeah.
Ami,
Yeah, exactly.
Ami Patel,
I'm gonna just
Yes, Cyrus.
if I ever write my book, the chapter news is always going to be lovely. Please read it. Huh? And also the other three
I
girls.
will.
Oh, great memories.
And
Yeah.
if I ever write my book, it'll be ditto.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Give me a word or two here and there. Oh, it's too
Of
much,
course.
too
I'll
much
give you a
critic.
chapter.
No. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Bye.
thank you.
Ciao. Have